One of the biggest aspects of Airsoft is upgrading or building your gun, and not just adding accessories throughout the gun to make it look cool, but actually opening the gun up and installing aftermarket components to have your gun perform to your own personal specifications. However, what if you're someone like me and don't really have the time to open your gun up and install those upgrades? Or if you're, again, someone like me and don't really have the technical know-how or the mechanical skills really to open things up and put things back together? Well, then you're going to want an airsoft gun that performs well out of the box that don't really need any aftermarket upgrades. So this is going to be my personal list on my top 5 favorite guns that don't need aftermarket upgrades. I just want to start off by saying that these are all my personal opinions, my personal picks based on my personal experience. So if you disagree with me or you have different opinions, well, you're wrong, but again, that's totally fine. You could have your own opinions if you like and disagree with me. When picking an airsoft gun that doesn't need upgrading, what is it specifically that I'm looking for in an airsoft gun? Well, one of the first things that I judge criteria-wise is reliability. Is the gun going to function for long periods of time without breaking or causing any catastrophic malfunctions? Are the internal components well built and strong enough to withstand heavy usage? The second thing that I look for are just the features. What exactly is it that the gun comes with out of the box? Sometimes some companies will include parts and things in the gun already out of the box that normally otherwise you'd have to buy aftermarket and install yourself. Then the third thing that I look for in an airsoft gun that doesn't need upgrading is just the sheer performance. When you pick up the gun, plug in a battery, and go play, do you feel underpowered compared to other players out there on the field? Does the gun itself give you enough of a performance boost to keep you staying competitive out there on the field? Alright, first gun. If you know me, and you know that I know that you know that I love me some KWA. In fact, my entire list is all KWA. You know what? Just save yourself the trouble.
But you picked all KWA guns for this list?
Well, yeah. What is there? What else is out there for me except KWA?
Do that.
But I love KWA. It's the only brand that I rock.
But Boaz, level with me. Did you really pick all KWA guns for this list?
No. But my first gun is still going to be a KWA. It is the KWA QRF Mod 1. Oh, man. It's definitely one of my more recent acquisitions from KWA. And let me tell you, I am not disappointed in the slightest. You know, I've been shopping around for a while for a pistol caliber carbine, SMG kind of style gun. I was kind of flirting with a couple different options, but KWA, man, they're always bringing me back. Always bringing me back into the high performance family, you know, like super rock solid metal construction with the super clean M-lock rail and their stock. Let me tell you about the stock. I love their PDW stock. I guess a lot of frustration out there with the PDW stocks in Airsoft just because of battery space, but somehow, some way, KWA has made their stock not super obnoxiously big and large and long, but somehow can accommodate a ton of battery space. I don't know how they did it. The engineers are freaking geniuses. But already, just out of the box, just by looking at the gun, you're already getting some value out of the box because you're getting PTS furniture on it with their flip-up sights and the pistol grip, that beautiful anodized orange flash out of there. I put a tracer unit on my personal one, by the way, but externally it just looks so sweet. It's just like the MP5 / like MPX that we never really got, you know. It's still utilizing their AEG 2.5 plus system. Oh my goodness, like internally it's just so rock solid, man. I mean, I wish the rate of fire would be a little bit higher, but I'm totally fine with how it is. I left it completely bone stock. The adjustable FPS is such a lifesaver. You know, I could take that gun indoors and outdoors, not have to worry about carrying an extra spring. All I need is just that little hex key tool that they give you out of the box, and just go a little, and you're good to go for pretty much virtually any airsoft field out there. And that rotary style hop-up unit, again, big points bonus for me, just because it's just so easy and nice to use, and that's just the modern standard now for airsoft guns. And let me tell you about the range and accuracy. All right, well, there's the picture of me eating a burrito right there on the airsoft field. But if you look closely, I'm rocking the KWA QRF outdoors, out of doors, and I was straight up murking people. I was tagging people at least 200 to 250 feet away. I was using .3 gram BBs. I was cranking up the hop-up unit a little bit, but I was still tagging people at that range, all right, while eating a burrito. Next gun on the list, I know you guys probably already diagnosed me with the Mayo sickness just based on how many M4s that I have, and thank God I'm not as bad as Cisco. But just to spice things up, I think the next gun on the list that deserves to be on this list is going to be the entire series of Arcturus AKs. I am so surprised at how Arcturus they kind of just like came out of nowhere and they just dropped this absolute gem of a gun on us, especially like their M-Lock AKs. Oh my goodness. Who else can make M-Lock AKs look that good? Who else can do it better? LCT, where you at? Where you at? Well, you're definitely not here because Arcturus is out here dominating that space, especially when you can get a nice, solid feeling full metal body that kind of rivals, it's almost at the LCT level, I'll give it that. But you're already getting a ton of really cool aftermarket features. Like I said, like the M-Lock rail, the flash irons. They give you 2 extra magazines. They give you, I don't want to say the pistol grip, like it looks a very familiar looking modern pistol grip. They're giving you familiar looking aftermarket stocks if you get a buffer tube version. And the performance on this thing is, it is dreamlike. Again, like with most stock guns, the rate of fire can be a little faster, but just that micro switch trigger, like you could, it's so crispy. You know, one of the big problems about a lot of airsoft guns is, you know, it lacks any kind of real response, you know? But when you pull the trigger on the Arcturus AK, it just clicks. Just, it's just, it's so satisfying and so zen to shoot it out there in the airsoft field. And range and accuracy, I would say, you know, it's not a very fair comparison to a lot of M4s out on the market. For some reason, airsoft AKs just tend to be more accurate than M4s. It's really weird, yeah, I know. But definitely, like, I've used it a couple times on the field. Like, I've borrowed a buddy's, and let me tell you, like, it does not disappoint. It shoots like a laser beam. Wait, hold on. I'm not done yet about the Arcturus AK, okay? All right, if you are fortunate enough to get the newer batches of their Arcturus AKs, they come standard with their own proprietary design rotary hop-up unit. Proprietary, I don't care, because I don't like this little AK little hop-up slider down thing. No. All right, Arcturus came out with that nice, clean, super clicky rotary style hop-up unit. Is so much more convenient, and I feel so much more confident using that system over the traditional AK system. And in their gearbox, they did revise their micro switch trigger so where you could remove it and install an aftermarket upgrade. Not that you should do it. Leave it alone, okay? It's like one of the most fun things left in airsoft, at least AEG wise, okay? Especially if you've been playing airsoft for as long as me. You know, every gun kind of ends up shooting the same, but not the Arcturus. It's different. The next gun on the list is, honestly, I think that if you're really chasing high performance and if that's really what you care about, I honestly think that this brand or this series of guns is definitely for you. And I'm talking about the Classic Army Nemesis series, specifically, at least on this list, the X98. Now, why did I include 2 pistol caliber carbines? Well, I don't know, like, they're both absolute bangers of a gun, but just in 2 different spectrums, okay? Like, the Classic Army X98, yeah, the externals, they're pretty solid, pretty good. I don't think they're anywhere near as solid, as good as the KWA. They're just on another level. But you're still getting a solid full metal construction receiver, especially with that extended rail, that 8-inch barrel and rail combo. I don't know what it is. It just makes it look like a pistol caliber carbine. You know, like there's so many other PCCs out there on the market that are really, in my opinion, they look very confused whether or not they want to look like an SMG or a PCC. Now, the X98 truly embraces the identity of the PCC. And let's not forget that Classic Army has officially now become pretty much like the standardized magazine for any AR style PCC out there, because, you know, PTS released their aftermarket mag. So it's settled. It is settled. The Classic Army Nemesis X9 mags are now the standard for PCC airsoft guns. So you have that going for you. It already comes with a banger electronic trigger unit and a banger MOSFET. It already comes with that super snappy high speed motor. Is it high speed Cisco? 30K motor? High speed? 31K? Okay, anyway, out of the box, again, it doesn't feel like you need to upgrade it at all. Like it already feels like they just upgraded it for you. You're already getting that crazy good performance out of the box. And so, like I said, don't touch it. Okay, again, the externals, in my opinion, leaves a little bit more to be desired, but if the internal performance is exactly what you're going for, I'd highly recommend anything within the Nemesis line. For example, the LS12, the traditional X9, if you like being confused, or you can get the X98, which is the true pistol caliber carbine that looks absolutely banging. Okay, but if you're not willing to shell out $400 to $500 on an airsoft gun, and if you still want really good performance at a cheap price, honestly, anything from the ECS skirmish line, for example, the Mark 16 and just the PXG9, those are all very solid options you can get where you're getting nearly kind of around the same performance, but again, you're saving hundreds of dollars on it, and you're gonna end up outperforming a lot of people on the airsoft field. Originally, for the next gun, I wanted to include the G&G CMF16 on there, but Cisco already stole it for his top 5 G&G guns, so I can't use it. But I can give you the next best thing. Well, it's not really the next best thing because the next thing on the list is actually way better than the CMF16. But anyway, it's the Airsoft GI Premium Custom Typhoon M4AG. Now you might be saying, whoa, Boaz, you can't just put your own custom gun in there and put on the list. It's not a stock gun. Well, no, it is. All right, it is. Because they're readily available. They're built to order. And the guns do come in a box. So technically what you get is out of the box, right? Okay? The real reason why the Typhoon is on my list is because it's a very rare instance where an airsoft gun can comfortably and also exceed all three criteria that I have for an airsoft gun that doesn't need any upgrades. Okay, let's talk about performance. Okay, that trigger is just so responsive and super short. It's like a mouse click almost. It's almost irresponsibly light how responsive that trigger is. And the rate of fire, unethical. All right, just listen. Oh. Yeah, see, like I told you, unethical. Please don't spray people in full auto. It will be very mean for you to do it with the Typhoon. Okay, but let's also talk about the features. Okay, outside, of course, it's plain Jane. It's just a standard, you know, VFC, BCM, MCMR. Very cool gun though, but you know, not a ton of features. But internally is where all the features come into play, because all of our techs, right? They take the gun out, they open it up, all right? They source the highest quality parts available, and they'll put it into the gun, sprinkle their tech fairy dust on it to make it that much more special and magical. They close it up, tied up in a nice bow tie knot, and hand it over to you for your enjoyment and pleasure, okay? It has every single internal feature that your heart would desire. Now you might say, Boaz, there's so many other custom shops out there that have guns that perform way better, that shoot way faster and way more responsive. Yes, that's true. However, what they're not telling you is about reliability. Okay, not only do our techs build the Typhoons to be as high performing as possible, but we balance it with long-term reliability, which is why that we back all of our Typhoons and all of our premium custom guns with a 1-year warranty, because they're not supposed to break. They're supposed to be as reliable as a tank. We intended for the gun to go on multiple day milsim events, all right, for you to take it out into the rain, don't play in the rain. You're gonna rust your gun, please don't. But you can, just I don't recommend it. All right, it's meant for us to give to you so that you can take it to hell and back and have the gun come out smiling. And the last and final gun on the list is going to be the Kittiway Ronin T10. What? You honestly thought that I wouldn't start the list with the Kittiway and end it? All right, it is a cycle. Okay, Kittiway has kept me in airsoft for over 10 years. All right, they have held me through, so they get the respect that they rightfully deserve. All right, so stop complaining. Okay, but just looking at the T10, it is a visual masterpiece. Like, I would love to meet the designer from Taiwan that designs these guns, and I would love to shake their hand and, you know, in this really awkward language barrier expression, tell them how amazing of a job this person does. Let's talk about the receivers. Again, solid full metal construction. It feels like one piece of metal, and that clean M-lock snaggletooth looking rail system. It looks aggressive. It looks like it means business. Let's also talk about the value that you get out of the box, because you're already getting PTS furniture from the get-go. You're getting the enhanced polymer stock for a ton of battery space. You're getting that PTS pistol grip as well as a PTS iron sight. So it's already going to save you a decent amount of coin when it comes to accessorizing your gun. Okay, and let's talk about the recoil system. It is probably the best recoil system out there on the airsoft market today. Yeah, okay, I know that Tokyo Marine makes one with their next generation recoil system thing. You can't use that in the US. Okay, you can't use that sustainably or reliably, viably in the US. It just shoots too soft, and everyone has to do all this crazy trial and error stuff. You know, it's a very complicated system to run. Okay, we're not talking about no upgrades on this list. So like I said, the AG3 system, the recoil system from Kittiway, is probably one of the best out there on the market, and it just kicks you just the right amount. You know, it's not, they weren't aiming to deliver some like punch to your shoulder or anything. You know, it just lets you know, lets you feel something. It feels like you're doing something every time you pull the trigger on the Ronin T10. Okay, and let's also talk about the rotary style hop up on this thing. Again, another bonus. They're including a Type 4 barrel and a rotary style hop up out of the box, so you don't need to do that yourself already. And let's talk about the switch life extender on this gun, because I don't know if you know, But every premium KWA gun that has been coming out for the past 5 years or so have been coming out with something called a switch life extender, which basically allows you to run a LiPo battery on the gun safely and sustainably without having to run a MOSFET. And in fact, they're one of the very few companies out there that advertise and brag about their LiPo capability, even though that their guns don't come with the MOSFET. Now, yeah, like I said, just like with the QRF, they do have a space in the gearbox for you to switch out your trigger unit and put in a K-Titan. But again, no upgrades on this list, all right? Don't touch it. It's fine the way it is, okay? Performance-wise, again, rate of fire is all right, but honestly, I don't mind having a slow rate of fire because just the recoil system is just so fun to use on full auto. Like I honestly, I don't even notice that it's firing that slow. The trigger response is fantastic, phenomenal on this. And again, circling back to the switch life extender, you can pretty much run any Airsoft LiPo battery that you want on this bad boy, especially paired with that PTS stock. And with all that combining, coming together, that's the reason why the Ronin T10 is #1 on this list. And in fact, I think every gun on this list should have been a KWA gun, you know? But the sad reality is, KWA basically has two main designs for their guns, the AG 2.5 gearbox and the AG 3 gearbox, which again are found virtually on every single one of their guns. They pretty much all do the same thing. So honestly, at the end of the day, if you really want a gun that you don't want to upgrade, just get a KWA, man. You know, they have so many cool options and varieties that you can choose from. You know, they're even coming out with a polymer line. They even come with polymer for more affordable. Okay, I think that does it. That's my top 5 lists and reasons of why you should basically just own a KWA at the end of the day.
No, not all KWA.
Okay, fine. Top 5 Airsoft guns that don't need upgrading. But again, I say to you again, the short and simple answer is KWA. Okay? But if you disagree with me, down in the comments below. Again, be very careful about what you say, okay? Because listen, man. All right, I pull this pin and we all go up. All right, so be careful.
Well,
Careful what you say.
It's just you and me in here. They're behind their computer at home.
But anyway, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. We just recently hit 700,000 subscribers, so a huge thank you and shout out to you guys. You guys kept this. You guys are the community, and you guys built this community. So we would love to keep that going. We're trying to hit that 1 milli so we can force Sujin Wojcicki to give us that placard and recognize that Airsoft isn't that bad on YouTube. Okay, and if you guys would like to support us directly, keep these lights on, keep that camera rolling, keep me buy more KWA stuff. Okay, make sure to go directly to Airsoft GI. If any of these guns pique your interest, again, make sure to head over to Airsoft GI, and that supports us directly, all right? And this is Boaz, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, stop! Whoa! Oh, hey, what the? Stop! Give me that thing. I'm wasting water.
Yeah, KWA. Yeah, so I basically said everything that you wanted me to say on this video. So I was wondering if you could hook it up, you know, and sponsor me. Maybe give me one of every gun that comes out. No? What do you mean no? I did what you told me to. All right, I'm your biggest advocate. Think about how much sales I make off of this. Okay, just come on, man. Just hook.
Boys, I don't think they need you.
Don't ever say that to me ever again.